Welcome. Today we are looking at register, which is the vocabulary of specific fields. This is a key topic in your English language exams for SS3. Pay close attention. Let us begin. First, let me explain what register means. Register refers to the specific vocabulary used in a particular profession, field of study, or social context. Different fields have their own specialized terms. For example, medicine has words like diagnosis, prescription, and surgery. Law has words like plaintiff, defendant, and verdict. Agriculture has words like irrigation, fertilization, and harvest. In your exam, you will be tested on your knowledge of register. You may be asked to identify the field to which a set of words belongs, or to choose the correct word to complete a sentence in a specific context. Now, let me explain the register of medicine and healthcare. Here are common medical terms. Diagnosis means identifying a disease. Prescription means a doctor's order for medication. Surgery means an operation. Symptoms are signs of illness. Treatment is the care given to a patient. Ward is a section of a hospital. Clinic is a place where outpatients are treated. Pharmacy is where drugs are dispensed. Surgeon is a doctor who performs operations. Physician is a general doctor. Pediatrician is a children's doctor. Cardiologist is a heart specialist. Epidemic is a widespread outbreak of disease. Pandemic is a worldwide outbreak. Vaccine is a substance that prevents disease. Dosage is the amount of medicine to take. Side effect is an unwanted reaction to medicine. Test these words in sentences. The doctor made a diagnosis after examining the patient. The pharmacist dispensed the prescription. Now, let me explain the register of law and justice. Here are common legal terms. Plaintiff is the person who brings a case to court. Defendant is the person accused of a crime. Verdict is the decision of a jury. Judgment is the decision of a judge. Appeal is a request to a higher court to review a decision. Evidence is information presented in court to prove a fact. Witness is a person who gives testimony. Testimony is the statement a witness gives under oath. Lawyer is a legal professional who represents clients. Judge is the official who presides over a court. Jury is a group of citizens who decide the verdict. Prosecution is the side that brings criminal charges. Defense is the side that represents the accused. Guilty means having committed the crime. Innocent means not guilty. Sentence is the punishment given to a convicted person. Fine is a monetary penalty. Imprisonment is jail time. Counsel is another word for lawyer. Litigation is the process of taking legal action. Test these words in sentences. The defendant pleaded not guilty. The jury returned a verdict of guilty. The judge sentenced him to 5 years in prison. Now, let me explain the register of business and commerce. Here are common business terms. Capital is money invested in a business. Revenue is income from sales. Profit is revenue minus costs. Loss is when costs exceed revenue. Investment is money put into a business to generate returns. Share is a unit of ownership in a company. Stock is another word for shares. Dividend is a payment to shareholders from profits. Asset is something of value owned by a business. Liability is a debt owed by a business. Balance sheet is a statement of assets and liabilities. Income statement is a statement of revenues and expenses. Cash flow is the movement of money in and out of a business. Budget is a plan for income and spending. Forecast is a prediction of future financial performance. Marketing is the activity of promoting and selling products. Advertising is paid communication to promote products. Consumer is the person who buys goods or services. Wholesaler is a business that sells in bulk to retailers. Retailer is a business that sells to consumers. Test these words in sentences. The company's profit increased by 20%. Shareholders received a dividend of 2 naira per share. The marketing department launched a new advertising campaign. Now, let me explain the Register of Education. Here are common educational terms. Curriculum is the set of courses offered by a school. Syllabus is an outline of topics to be covered in a course. Lecture is a spoken presentation to a class. Tutorial is a small group discussion. Seminar is a class where students present and discuss papers. Assignment is a task given to students. Examination is a test of knowledge. Grade is a score or letter indicating performance. Transcript is a record of grades. Degree is an award conferred by a university. Diploma is a certificate of completion. Undergraduate is a student pursuing a first degree. Postgraduate is a student pursuing an advanced degree. Scholarship is financial aid awarded for academic achievement. Tuition is fees for instruction. Lecture hall is a large room for lectures. Laboratory is a room for scientific experiments. Library is a collection of books and resources. Test these words in sentences. The curriculum includes English, mathematics, and science. She received a scholarship to study at the university. The examination will cover all topics in the syllabus. Now, let me explain the Register of Politics and Government. Here are common political terms. Democracy is a system where citizens vote for leaders. Legislature is the branch that makes laws. Executive is the branch that implements laws. Judiciary is the branch that interprets laws. Constitution is the fundamental law of a country. Parliament is the legislative body in some countries. Congress is the legislative body in others. President is the head of state in a republic. Prime Minister is the head of government in a parliamentary system. Governor is the head of a state. Minister is a head of a government department. Senator is a member of the upper house. Representative is a member of the lower house. Election is the process of choosing leaders by vote. Poll is another word for election or voting. Ballot is a paper or system for voting. Constituency is a geographic area represented by an elected official. Campaign is an organised effort to win an election. Policy is a plan or course of action. Legislation is a law or set of laws. Veto is the power to reject a law. Impeachment is the process of removing a leader from office. Test these words in sentences. The president vetoed the bill passed by Congress. The senator campaigned for better health care. The Constitution guarantees freedom of speech. Now let me explain the Register of Science and Technology. Here are common scientific terms. Hypothesis is a proposed explanation for a phenomenon. Theory is a well-tested explanation supported by evidence. Experiment is a procedure to test a hypothesis. Variable is a factor that can change. Data are collected facts and figures. Analysis is the process of examining data. Conclusion is a judgment reached after analysis. Research is systematic investigation to discover facts. Laboratory is a place for scientific experiments. Microscope is an instrument for viewing small objects. Telescope is an instrument for viewing distant objects. Cell is the basic unit of life. Organism is a living individual. Species is a group of similar organisms. Evolution is change in species over time. Gene is a unit of heredity. DNA is the molecule carrying genetic information. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure for solving a problem. Software is programs and instructions for computers. Hardware is the physical components of a computer. Network is a system of connected computers. Database is an organized collection of data. Test these words in sentences. The scientists proposed a hypothesis to explain the results. The data were analyzed using a computer algorithm. The laboratory is equipped with microscopes and other instruments. Now, let me explain how to answer exam questions on register. A common question asks you to identify the field to which a set of words belongs. Here is a sample answer strategy. Read the list of words. Look for keywords associated with a particular field. For example, words like diagnosis, prescription, surgery belong to medicine. Words like plaintiff, defendant, verdict belong to law. Words like profit, revenue, investment belong to business. If you see a mix of fields, identify the dominant field. Another common question asks you to choose the correct word to complete a sentence. Here is your answer strategy. First, read the sentence carefully. Identify the context. Is the sentence about medicine, law, business, education, politics, or science? Then, look at the options. Eliminate words that do not belong to that field. Choose the word that makes the most sense in the context. Another common question asks you to match words with their definitions. Here is your answer strategy. First, read the definition. Identify the key idea. Then, scan the list of words. Look for the word that matches the definition. If you are unsure, use context clues or think of sentences where the word is used. Let me give you practice exercises. Exercise 1. Identify the field. Words: revenue, profit, loss, investment. Answer: business and commerce. Exercise 2. Identify the field. Words: diagnosis, prescription, surgery. Answer: medicine. Exercise 3. Choose the correct word. The jury returned a of guilty. Options: verdict, diagnosis, profit, curriculum. Answer: verdict. Exercise 4. Choose the correct word. Dispense the medication. Options: pharmacist, judge, teacher, senator. Answer: pharmacist. Let me give you a quick summary. Register is the vocabulary of specific fields. Medicine includes words like diagnosis, prescription, surgery. Law includes words like plaintiff, defendant, verdict. Business includes words like profit, revenue, investment. Education includes words like curriculum, syllabus, examination. Politics includes words like democracy, constitution, election. Science includes words like hypothesis, experiment, data. To answer exam questions, identify the field from keywords, choose the correct word for the context, and match words with definitions. Practice with exercises, keep reviewing, keep practicing. See you in the next topic.